Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Brawn figure. So what we're going to do with this video, I'm going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes, help you decide how you want to display him. We are of course going to see how he looks in displays with some of the rest of the figures in the same toy line, and of course we'll bring out some other Brawn figures including his Generation 1 original, just to see how much he's improved over the years. So before we open him up, let's have a look at the packaging. We've got a lovely artwork there of Brawn. That is of course artwork because he didn't really look like that in the movie, not to my memory anyway. But it does look exceptionally good. There he is again, the full figure, and of course on this side it's just like the bust, so the head and chest of him. We can see it's going to take 23 steps to transform him, and of course I'm going to be uploading that in a separate video. Now as I open him up, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to this channel, if I'd hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it'll help me out. And the other thing is to thank Robot Recruits, the online store in the UK where I purchased this from, and as you can see they got him to me nice and safely. Right, let's have a look at this guy inside here. So we've of course got that bit of packaging, and we've got the main backdrop in the background as well. I'm pretty much guessing this has got to be, yeah, just the ship of course where the Decepticons entered. Apologies for the glare. There's just the instructions there. There's a little blaster which has just fell out, so what I need to do now is set him free from there and then come straight back to you. Okay guys, I've just set him free from the packaging, and let's have a look, I suppose, at how good he really does look. I'm actually really surprised about how good this is. I think they've just been getting better and better with these mini bots, to be honest. I call them mini bots, but obviously they're mini bots at deluxe scale. This is how it's packaged. I did think initially that this might be just because of how it was held in the box, but that is pretty much as far as it does go up. But it's not too bad. I mean, I suppose it looks like he did in the cartoon, and it's obviously a huge improvement on the other figures, which I'll show you in a second. I think the first thing that strikes you though, and definitely with myself, is that head sculpt. Look at it. I mean, I know it's a robot, but there's like cheekbones, there's eyeliner, there's lips, there's a chin, there's everything, and it's still articulate at the same time. You can still spin it all the way around if you wanted to. It's not restricted there, but you can see there's obviously no looking up or down. The arms are on ball and sockets, so they'll go all the way out to the side, and of course all the way around. There is a shoulder swivel. There is a huge near enough double bend in the bicep, but there's only the one bend, but it comes all the way up. There's no wrist swivel, but it looks like they fold into there. We've got a waist swivel. We've got the hips that kick all the way up. They're a little restricted at the back, but not too bad. You can still bend the knee up, and I suppose if you wanted to, you could bring it right back and you wouldn't be able to see that kibble at the back, so you could get away with that, to be fair, quite easily. So it's not too much of a hindrance, to be honest. There's a knee bend, toe tilt, ankle rock, etc. There's everything on here. The detail on the chest is brilliant. The silver is nice and reflective. It stands out. I'm blown away by this, to be fair. The pistol or weapon, whatever, is really simple, which it doesn't need to be anything more than that. And of course we've just got the backdrop of the shuttle hole, well, the hole in the shuttle where of course he met his unfortunate fate. But I do think that's all there is to show you with regards to first impressions. We're going to have a quick look at him in his alternate mode and then come back and do loads of comparisons. So let's have a look at him in his alternate mode. Okay, we're back, and he's in his alternate mode, which again is brilliant. Look at that, it's nice and chunky. It's exactly as it should be. We've got lovely painted windows there rather than translucent. There's the Autobot logo again, which looks spectacular. And yeah, the silver is reflective. It looks really good. Each wheel is on their own individual pins, so they're okay. You can tell he's a robot from the underside, but you just have to turn him completely upside down to be able to see that. And to be honest, if you wanted to, you could turn the head all the way around as well. You could, if you want to, I suppose, pretend that he's a bit like Outback and put the gun in there, which of course I'm sure we'll be seeing very, very soon as well. And that's of course, you've now got the opportunity to do that. I didn't even know that came out, but there you go. You can take his spare wheel off as well. Didn't know. This is just a brilliant homage to the original. Look, there's the cross on the back. It's just so good. It really is. To give you an idea, I suppose, of size, it's, yeah, a little bit smaller than the Jurassic Park Jeep. It's going to be quite a bit smaller than Dragstrip, because obviously he's huge. With regards, I suppose, to some other figures, like that's one of the cheaper Rise of the Beasts Bumblebee figures. And I suppose that's pretty much it for the alternate mode size comparisons. It just works, it fits really well. I could bring the backdrop in, but it's not going to work on this particular scene with him in that mode. I just think it would be brilliant if we're going to get some Generation Selects versions of this figure. Let's have a Jipe, which is of course a Brazilian exclusive from Generation 1, so that would be cool to see this in them colours. Let me know in the comments if you agree with that. With regards, I suppose, to some other G1 mini bots, this will just give you a proper idea of how big he is. He is tiny, but it's great for a deluxe. But that's pretty much about it to show you. Sometimes you can see that this does come off. I suppose it's just because it's new, it's getting, there we go, that just needed fully clicking in. With it being new, it perhaps needs a little bit of just getting used to clicking in, but as you can see, guys, what a great alternate mode. Let's come back for the final time in robot mode then and have a look at him with some other figures and some other Brawn figures. Okay, we're back for the final time with him in his robot mode, and first and foremost, let's just pop his gun into his hands just to see how he can pose. And again, I'm useless at posing, I openly admit it, but I'm sure you'll agree that he looks great. I think for a deluxe figure, the fact that pretty much everything is covered up, I suppose, just apart from these, which don't look too bad. Them gaps don't look too big on the inside of the forearms, and as you've probably seen in this separately uploaded transformation process, that you can see why that they're there. Does that go a little bit lower? No, I'd say it really is that. So if I just pop him on there, it's not too bad. We can all remember obviously what that scene was. I suppose all he actually needed was a little peg there where you can put a blast effect, but we might get dead versions of these like we did of Ironhide and Prowl in the future, who knows. Right, one thing I definitely want to show you, because I think this is brilliant, and I do love the fact that they alluded to this themselves. So this is of course the original Generation 1 version of this figure. Let's put that on this side, and then of course you can do this with the legs as well if you want to. So let's separate this, fold it out, separate this, and indeed fold it out, and there you have the Studio Series 86 version. Oh, I need to perhaps put his arms forward because will it stand? It should stand. I've not done this before. This is the first time I've just attempted it because I've seen it's going to work. There you go. So there's just Studio Series 86 version of the original Generation 1. Oh, I suppose you'd have to spin the legs around, wouldn't you? There you go. You can spin the legs around and do exactly the same. There you go. It works. Just wanted to show you that because I think it's great, to be honest. Right, let's bring in, I've got an abundance, I suppose, of other figures to show you because I keep getting asked for loads. So I'm going to hopefully try and not miss any out. So let's go with, oh, I've just separated his arm. Let's go with some of the rest of the mini bots that we've had, I suppose, so far in the Generations line. And I mean, what I mean by the mini bots obviously is their newer deluxe update. Now I've not got them all, and I've not got them all to hand, I don't think. So let's just put a few more here, and there's probably a few more, let's be honest, which I haven't got out ready, like Puffer and all them. But what we've got there is Hubcap, Bumblebee, Cosmos, Beachcomber, Pipes, Brawn, Warpath, and indeed Huffer. So there you go. That's one load of, I suppose, ideas that you can do with all these. So yes, we are still missing Gears and a few of the other ones. Let's have a look at some other Brawns. So of course that was his last Studio Series edition, which doesn't look too bad at all, to be fair, even if it was for a live action movie. That's his last version from the Prime Wars trilogy. We've seen this obviously, and I don't unfortunately have the other Legends one at all just yet. So there's some more ideas of size and scale. Let's just move them out of the way, and then let's bring in some other figures just very quickly, just to give you an idea of size and scale. So let's go with some mainline figures. So we know he's a deluxe. There's a deluxe, there's a core, there's a leader class, and I should be able to, if I put that sword there, it will, you can't even see him, it's that much bigger. And there is a Voyager class. So that's your mainline figure size comparison. I'm going to do a Studio Series 86 comparison as well, or sorry, display in a minute. I'm just going to move these out of the way, and let's bring in other ones. So other toy lines, Generation 1. Even though you've just seen a Brawn, I'm going to bring in this. I'll keep him there as well. If you collect third party, there is New Age. So these will look tiny compared to him, even though they're smaller figures all themselves. But that's just to give you an idea, depending on which figures you collect, in which toy lines, you've got an idea of size. And then I think the one final thing to do, hopefully I've not missed anything. I'm sure I'll get someone in the comments telling me that I've missed something, but I do try my best to put as many in. It's just obviously what's at hand. So let's go with this. And I'm worried now that this guy's not going to fit on camera, so I might have to push him back a little bit, or let's just lift it up just for the final scene of this video. Anyway, there he is. He's tiny compared to him, isn't he? That really is a big figure. So this is mainly, again, just to give you an idea of the size of him. So there's your core class, and there indeed is core class, deluxe, Voyager and Commander. And in fact, if I bring Snarl back in, you've got a leader class there as well, all from the same. Let's move that sword out of poor Brawn's head. There we go. There you go, guys. There is some Studio Series 86 figures, and this is definitely one of the best. Let me know what you think of him in the comments, guys. Take care.